All right, today we are looking at trigonometry, also known as SOHCAHTOA or sine, cosine, and tangent. Here's the warm up for today. The warm up is asking you guys to label the sides of the triangle. So, the right before this lesson, you should have gotten some practice in with just labeling the sides. Remember that when we label them, we're looking for the hypotenuse, the adjacent side, and the opposite side. So, you got two sets of triangles here: triangle XZY or XYZ, and triangle LMN. And here you're going to label the sides. Tell me what the opposite side is using the letters of the triangle. Tell me what the adjacent side is using the letters of the triangle. And tell me what the hypotenuse is using the letters of the triangle. And you're going to do the same thing for triangle LMN. If you are confused or stuck on this warm up, you might want to go back and rewatch the video because I modeled examples just like this. So go back to the previous video on labeling the sides of the triangle. All right. So again, you guys should be copying this down in your warm-up sheet. Let's take a look at our learning target and success criteria. So it says that our learning target, I'm trying to move the camera, I'm sorry. Our learning target is we are learning how to solve problems involving right triangles using trigonometry in order to see the application in criminology, aviation, and navigation. The success criteria is I can label the size of a triangle and I can identify the trigonometric ratios. So you guys should be copying this down in your opening sheet. Okay, so again, you should have copied the learning target and success criteria down in your opening sheet. All right, so my disclaimer for this video, for this PowerPoint, guys, is please watch the video because you need to create your foldable, and I'm going to actually work through the foldable on the video today. Okay, so you all should be given a foldable. It will look something like this, and I've also have it posted, the back of it posted on your PowerPoint. The foldable is very straightforward. It should look like kind of like a pamphlet. You're gonna fold down the lines to have the titles on top. So I just folded this side. It should say finding the finding the sign of angles, and then you fold on the other side. And again, your foldable may or may not be gray. I did print these on different color paper, but once you fold it down, it should look like a kind of like a brochure or a pamphlet. So this would be your front. This will be your front, guys. So this is how it should look. You're going to take some scissors. And if you guys need scissors, just let me know. I'll make sure I hand them out, or you can hand them out for me. You're going to need scissors, and then you're going to just cut the flaps. So look inside, and it should have some perforated lines or dotted lines. You're just going to cut the dotted lines. That's the first flap. And then on the other side, just cut the dotted lines. And that's the second set of flaps. So it should be like this with four flaps that you can actually move and touch. And when you close, you should have four titles on the outside. So this is what your foldable should look like. And again, if you are struggling, pause the video at this time and go ahead and put it together, or go back and rewind so you make sure you have the flaps done. All right, so from there, we are going to complete the foldable. And my disclaimer is if you are not physically in class, so if you got suspended, if you were quarantined because of COVID or whatever the case may be, or you're on ISS, just copy this down in your notes. So I am currently looking at what is trig ratios. This is the very top left flat. And again, that's the title. It should say on the outside. So the first thing I want you guys to do is to insert another triangle. So you're going to take, oh, this ain't even going to let me, let me see. You want to draw another triangle inside of your uh, flap. So let me see if I can reflect this. So this time I inserted it, but on my actual foldable, I'll show you guys. I actually drew the triangle. So make sure that you double draw another triangle somewhere, okay? Because it's easier than to have to do two layers. So let me see if I had a shape. I just want to flip the orientation to be the same way. Let me see. Arrange. Oh, here we go. Rotate. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip this horizontally, and then I'm gonna go ahead and change the shape because I don't like this color is weird looking. Really, I just want it to be white. So let's do no shape fill. And then I want to change the color from green. And again, this won't take this long for you guys um, because you're just drawing in there. But you're going to copy this triangle somewhere where you can fit it within your fold. So that's what I just did here. And I'm going to move it over because I don't got no room. So this is me copying my triangle. Once you copy it, guys, make sure you copy the letters because again, you will be using that again. So I copy my triangle. I'm gonna copy my right angle as well. And again, if you need a ruler, I understand. Please make sure you use a ruler if you need it to make straight lines. So there's my right angle, and then I'm gonna relabel this triangle as A, B, and C. All right, so they gave you the definition, guys. This is a trig ratio is a ratio of the lengths of the two sides of the right triangle. The three basic trig ratios are sine, cosine, and tangent. So here is SOHCAHTOA, okay? Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. So the one thing that you will notice on these problems is they didn't give us an angle mark. And that is the very first thing we're going to do. We're going to label the angles. So I'm actually going to put that on here somewhere, and you guys can actually write this on the back of your foldable. But here's the steps. So the very first thing I want to be able to do, very first step you want to be able to do is to label, well, first draw your angle mark. And remember that the angles are inside the triangle. Um, I probably should put located. Angles are located inside the triangle. That's step one. Step two, then you want to do what we just did before this lesson, which is label the sides of the triangle. Remember that to label it, you got to use opposite, adjacent, and the hypotenuse. And then the final step, which is step three, and again, you can put this on the back of your foldable. So on your foldable, you won't have any writing on the back of it. So on the back, you can literally write these steps for creating trig ratios. And then step three will be to, once you have drawn your angle mark, labeled your size of the triangle, you're going to then write the trigonometric ratio. And remember that this will be a fraction. And always, I'm going to put this in caps, always simplify. Always simplify. Okay. And I'm going to underline that part too. So again, copy this on the back of your foldable. And I'm going to put that in writing as well. We go back home and I'm going to underline this. So please write these steps on the back of your foldable. Let me see if I can blow this up. All right, so these are the steps. So again, copy these steps. It's only three on the back of your photo. Steps for creating trig ratios. Make sure you write it on the back. Again, please make sure that you copy this triangle twice. So you should have two triangles within your first flap. And again, I'm gonna show you one more time. On my flap, I did two triangles. So try to fit them in as best you can. I mean, it's not gonna be perfect. Now I'm gonna do step one. Step one told me that I need to draw my angle marks, okay? So first it's asking me for sine of A, and I'm going to color code these guys to make it a little bit easier to follow. So sine of A, that's where my angle mark goes. So to figure that out, you're just looking for the letter. Inside of A, I put my marker. So step one is done. Now, the step two says I'm going to label the size of my triangle. So from my angle, remember that I know where my hypotenuse is because it's always opposite my 90-degree angle. So A segment AB is my hypotenuse. Again, you can write HYP or you can just write H. Okay. So hypotenuse is checked. Now I need to figure out what my opposite side is. Remember that your opposite side will always be opposite your theta or your angle mark. Okay. So this is my opposite side. I'm gonna put OPP here, or you can just put O. Okay. My abbreviation for opposite. And then finally, I need to label my adjacent side. And in this case, my adjacent side is AC. So I'm gonna label this green. That's AC. Oh, is that the same? That ain't even close. Let's do this one. So this would be my adjacent side. And again, you can put ADJ or you can just put the letter A. So I got my opposite, my adjacent, and my hypotenuse. So when it asks me for sine of A, guys, remember that they giving you the trig ratios here. Okay. So sine says it's opposite over the hypotenuse. Since there's no numerical values, I'm just writing the letters that correspond with the segments. So opposite over hypotenuse, my opposite side from A is going to be BC. So sine of A is BC, and my hypotenuse is AB. So it's BC over AB. Okay. Then cosine of A, because I'm going to keep using A, because that's what the one I just filled in. Cosine of A is my adjacent of my hypotenuse. So my adjacent side will be AC, and my hypotenuse will be AB. And again, guys, you can switch the letters. So if you wrote CB and BA, that's fine. Okay. And then finally, we're looking for tangent of A. Okay, because all of these say A. Tangent of A is going to be opposite, which is BC, over my adjacent side, which is AC. So we are 100% done with labeling sine, cosine, and tangent of A. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to the next part. Now we gotta do from B. So again, I'm going back through these 3 steps. First, I'm gonna draw my angle mark. So from B, this is B right here. So here I did my angle. Step 1 is check. For my angle, I'm now gonna label my sides of my triangle, right? So for my angle, this is my opposite side. Okay, so I'm gonna put OPP here on this triangle. And again, I'm color coding to make it easier. I strongly advise that you guys use color pencils, markers, or crayons to color code. Now remember that I have to locate my hypotenuse. I'm just picking a random color. It doesn't really matter to me. My hypotenuse, remember, will always be opposite my 90-degree angle, my right angle. So my hypotenuse is AB. Put an HYP here. And then finally, my adjacent side is going to be BC. So now I'm about to go through these, looking at all of the angles from B, all the trig ratios from B. Okay. So sine of B, remember that sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So from this big triangle, my opposite side is AC and my hypotenuse is AB. So my ratio will be AC over AB. Okay. Let's do the next one. I'm doing cosine of B. Again, cosine is my adjacent side of my hypotenuse. My adjacent side, I didn't even write this right. Let me go back and change this to say ADJ. That was my mistake. So this is my adjacent side. So my adjacent side is going to be BC or CB, however you want to order it. So BC over my hypotenuse, which is AB or BA. Okay. And then finally we have tangent. Tangent is again opposite over adjacent. So I got to put my opposite side, which again, my opposite side here will be AC, and my adjacent side will be BC. And we're done. So all of these went through angle B. Okay, we did the trig ratios from angle B. And then the other one, what color did I use? Green. Let's switch back to green. And then these here, we use angle A. Okay. So I'm done. That's the very first flap On the foldable, again, you should pause the video at this time to copy it down. But you should have two triangles inside of this flap. The first one, this will be reference from angle A, and the second one references from angle B. If you guys have questions at this time, please go ahead and ask me, or you can keep going if you think you're fine. Again, this is a great time to pause the video. Make sure that you copy down steps 1, 2, and 3 on the back of your foldable, and then fill in this first flap on the foldable. All right, now we're looking at sine of A and sine of B, and we're looking at finding the sine of an angle, which is the top right flap of your foldable. Okay. Again, the very first thing I would do is draw another triangle. Okay, because it's easier to have more than one triangle than it is for you to be double coding it. And again, I'm kind of moving this out the way, but you should have enough room. And if you don't, guys, my suggestion would be to just put this on another sheet of paper. But I would personally prefer it all to be together, so it'd be easier for you to have everything in one place. So I'll copy my triangle. This is my 90-degree angle. This is A, B, and C. And now they're asking us to do sine of a value. Okay. So first, all I did was copy my triangle. I wrote in my letters, but I did not write my numerical value, so I'm going to rewrite that in 13, 5, and 12. Okay. One of these are going to go from A, and one of these are going to go from B. So that's a question you have to ask yourself which one you want to use first. It doesn't really matter to me. So again, remember step 1 said to put your angle mark in. So to figure that out, I go look at the letter. In this case, it's telling me my angle was A. So this is A. I put my angle mark in, check. Now, step 2, remember, says that we're going to label our sides of the triangle. So from A, I'm going to go the opposite direction, and this will be my opposite side, OPP. Okay. From my right angle, I'm going to go the opposite direction. This will be my hypotenuse, HYP. And then finally, I need to get an adjacent side, which is going to be AC. That color is kind of hard to see. Let me go back. I'm going to try to change the color. Go powder blue. So my adjacent side is going to be side AC. I'm going to put ADJ here. All right. So from sine of A, this is angle A. Remember that sine is your opposite over hypotenuse. And I'm going to write that notation over here. Sine is O over H, opposite over hypotenuse. So sine from A, all I'm doing, guys, is rewriting my ratios, but using just the numerical value. So sine from A is going to be letters BC my segment BC over AB. Okay. And to translate that, I'm not going to plug in the numerical values. So BC segment was 5, okay? And my AB was 13. Now, remember I told you guys to always, always, always simplify. Type this into your calculator and make sure that the fraction can be simplified. 5 over 13 in this case can be simplified. So this is my final answer. I'm done with this one. Okay. Now I need to do sine of B. So using the other triangle that's already sitting right in front of me, I'm going to now put my angle marker in. This is B. Okay. From B, this will be my opposite side by drawing the arrow the other direction. This is my opposite. That's an O, by the way. OPP. Remember that my hypotenuse is always going to be opposite my right angle or 90-degree angle. So this is my hypotenuse. And then finally my adjacent side, which will be BC. And I'm going to put ADJ here. So now from B, again, I'm still using sine is the opposite of our hypotenuse here. So from angle B, which is what we're looking at, remember that sine is opposite of hypotenuse. So my sides will be, my opposite side was AC. My hypotenuse is AB. And again, I'm going to rewrite this using numerical values. So it'll be 12 over 13. So that's the very first flap, um, or the second flap on the photo. Let's look at the next one. Again, guys, you're gonna have to copy each time. You're gonna copy your triangle because it's easier to color code and all those good stuff if you have more than one triangle. So each time you're gonna copy your triangle. I'm gonna go ahead and do that one more time for a tangent as well. Once you copy your triangle, make sure you copy your numerical values as well as the letters. So this is triangle ABC. And please ignore the other flap, guys, the end flaps on the outside. We're not going to do these. We're not going to do these three today, or the inside pieces. Okay, we're going to do these later. So again, don't worry about it. So like this one right here, solving the right triangle. We're not doing that today. Same thing, solving the right triangle using cosine, solving the right triangle. We're not solving anything. We're only doing the trig ratios. So I got A, B, and C. This is 10, 6, and 8. This is my 90-degree angle. And again, from here, I'm just going to label my sides. So this will be my hypotenuse, HYP. Now, again, I'm going from A. So let's change colors here. From angle A, I just put my angle marker in. This will be my opposite side, OPP. And then finally, my adjacent side will be AC. And I'm going to put this as ADJ. Okay, so cosine of A. And then remember that cosine is adjacent over the hypotenuse. We're going to go ahead and label our side. So adjacent from angle A is going to be AC. So we got AC, and my hypotenuse is AB. So AC over AB. And again, from here, I'm just using the numbers. So left side segment AC will be the number 8, and the hypotenuse is 10. Now, remember that I told you guys to always, always, always simplify. So this will actually be simplified to 4 over 5. And I'm running out of space, but hopefully you guys are able to fit it into that section of your foldable. But again, this will be 4 over 5. This will look a little sloppy. I'm going to do it over one more time. 4 over 5. Okay. Now, again, I'm going from cosine B. So B, I'm drawing my angle mark in. That's B. From B, AC is my opposite side. Down with OPP. Okay, and then the right angle, my right angle, 10 is my adjacent side, HYP, which means that BC, which is this side right here, is going to be my adjacent side, ADJ. All right, so from here again, I'm just labeling my sides, or write my trig ratio. So cosine of B, okay, we're looking at B. We're going to put our adjacent side, which in this case is BC, over our hypotenuse, which is AB or BA, however you want to write it. So now plugging in numerical values. BC is 6 and AB is 10. And again, please, 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 always, always, always simplify your fractions. So 6 over 10 is going to simplify to be 3 over 5. I'm going to change the, see, you guys should be able to see that. It's 3 over 5. Okay, so that's my answers for finding the cosine of an angle. All right, this is the very last example, and I know that this video is relatively long, and it's meant because I'm copying triangles. All right, so the last one, we have a triangle. Please draw you another triangle somewhere on your foldable. Try to fit it as best you can. Once you do it, please make sure you copy your numerical values as well as your letters. So this would be A, this would be B, and this will be C. The numbers I had at the bottom was 24. My hypotenuse was 25. And then this was 7, the right hand side. That was 7. All right, put my 90-degree angle back. All right, so again, remember we always going from either A or B on these triangles. So in this one, I got tangent of A. Tangent from A will be, this 7 will be my opposite side. I'm going to put OPP here. Tangent is going to give you opposite over adjacent, or T over A. Okay, so this is my opposite side from A. My hypotenuse from will be opposite my 90-degree angle. I'll put HYP here. And then finally, I got an adjacent side, which is going to be AC. Okay, so again, from A, go ahead and fill this in. A, my opposite side will be BC over my adjacent side, which is AC. So when I plug in my numbers, I'm going to have 7 over 24. If only I can write this right. And please make sure you simplify, but 7 over 24 will not simplify. Okay. Now, tangent of B, here's B. I'm going to go ahead and draw my angle mark, go the opposite direction. This would be opposite my hypotenuse is opposite my 90-degree angle. This is HYP. And then finally, my adjacent side is going to be the number 7, also known as BC. Okay. So again, from here, I'm going from tangent B. So my opposite will be AC over BC. And again, from here, I'm just plugging in the values. So AC is 24, and my adjacent side is 7. So in this case, I get 24 over 7. Again, these are my final answers, and you guys are finished. This is how you will simplify or write your trig ratios. And this is why it was important to know how to label the triangle, because you need that in order to write your trig ratios. So the classwork for today will be to complete the trigonometry coloring assignment. If you are currently suspended or virtual or absent, I will post classwork in the PowerPoint for you to complete virtually. And once you have done that, guys, then you got it. It was just a piece of cake and you are finished. Great job. If you have any additional questions, please come see me. Ask me questions during class time or keep telling to practice. Have a great day.